lost in my bed, with hopes that maybe I'll get a chance to see you when I close my eyes. I'm going out of my head, lost in the bed.
Hey my loves, welcome to the corner of my internet where we learn about beauty, self-value, inspiration, and just anything else that interests a girl these days. So today I just wanted to focus on blemish covering and skin prep, like basically prepping the skin before makeup. So I should really be explaining this step that I'm doing now. I'm just taking an anti-blemish pad from Noxzema. Now this is a powerful pad. Nonetheless, it is very useful when it comes to having fresh skin under your makeup. It has salicylic acid in it, so that will also help you to control any future breakouts. Another thing I like about these is they are very exfoliating, so it will take off any sunscreen and stuff like that that is still left over onto your skin. Another benefit I can honestly say about using a prepping pad is the fact that you have a clean slate to work with, because without a clean canvas you can sometimes be fooled with the way your skin really looks. If you don't really start from a clean space, you have trouble with seeing it from a fresh view type. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. You just want to see it as a new piece of paper, right? So we all like a fresh piece of paper when we're doing any type of writing, right? So my eyebrows have been done since earlier. We're not going to get into that today. What I really want to get into, and I'm just looking for this area here, my problem area. This area, and this area here. These are the places where I typically focus on when I'm doing my makeup, right? And I'll take that way in a minute. But I did that so you guys can basically have a point to really focus on this look. Like, I really want you guys to be focused here, here, and here. These are the places that I'm really going to be prepping the best, right? So I'm going to just take a little bit of my makeup remover to erase those marks, just to start over, okay? Wonderful makeup remover indeed. So any makeup mover would suffice. I'm going to, before I blend out anything on my face, I like to prep my skin. So now we have a clean slate. You need to talk about a primer. I'm pretty sure you've done your skincare, right? So sometimes I like to go in with a setting spray that acts as a primer and as a setting spray, and this is that, and it's great for that. So what I like to do is shake this up, and I'll do 2 spritz, maybe 3 from above. Let it fall on the face, right? As it falls on the face, I then want to reach for my setting powder. I use a translucent setting powder for this next step. Okay, so I get my translucent setting powder, and mine comes with the puff. Some of them, a lot of them do. And I just start to pat powder onto the face evenly as much as possible. And you see how instantly that started to blur out those larger pores and some of my fine lines will benefit from this. And also skin texture. If skin texture is a big thing for you, this will be a wonderful part of the day to really pay attention to. I do under my eyes just a tad, and that's all you need to do. I'm gonna just close this back up, right? And I apologize if this is a little lengthy, but I really want to get into the meat and potatoes of this artwork I call makeup. Okay, so I'm just going to fluff my eyebrows. You're just gonna straighten those back up, and this the reason why I already came on with them done is because I knew that we were going to be focusing on the base for the most part of this video. Okay, so after I do that, I like to come in with like a facial mist. I have been loving a rose water just to keep it simple. That's all we're using, right? Anything I spray on my face that comes in a bottle like this, I shake it up, even if it doesn't say it, just so I can get it everything activated. I do this so the powders can melt into my skin. So you can have a liberal amount, you can have a medium amount, but never do the minimal, okay? So that's on, my fan is on, it's starting to dry down as you can see perfectly. I then like to take one of my makeup brush, preferably a clean makeup brush. So I'm just gonna pre-wipe this one, make sure nothing's on it. Just to make sure it's clean, really, really, really good like I want it to be. And then I'm just going to press everything into my skin how I want it to lay. And I like to use a kabuki brush when I do this particular part because how flat it is. A kabuki brush or some type of overall facial brush to smooth the powders and things into the pores. And you can just buff it into the pores. And this makes for the ultimate under blaring. That's what I will just deem that term, under blaring. So now that that is done and we have that pushed into the face and everything is nice and prepped and set, now I would go in with my liquid primers. You can go in with anything. So just to teach you a cool way to do these things, I'm going to take this liquid primer to show you that nothing is going to affect what you just did. And I get drier on my chin area, so I like to do a dab of hyaluronic acid on each side. And I rub that in where I'm a little drier at. Pat it in on my top lip and my smile lines. Did it affect anything? Did anything look like it moved or no, it didn't affect anything. So now that you've done that and we have our primer and our face primed and everything, the first thing I would like to go into is the color corrector, right? So when you're doing your base and you want it to look flawless and you want nothing to shine from under your foundation, color corrector and concealer is going to be the best thing to do. A kind of a sort of a underpainted method. So I'm going to take my color corrector. This is my favorite color corrector and concealer duo from Bodyography. I've spoken about this on my platform a lot of times. It's nothing that you have to run out and buy, but if you want flawless application, a color corrector could be just what you need. So I like to apply this around my mouth. And this is a balmy texture, so you can just buff it into the skin. And it's like a creamy consistency. It's very nice and very soft and light. And then I just buff a little bit in my smile lines where I want to be lighter. I buff here on this side as well, right? Takes away any darkness. Then I take it and I also get here. The reason why I'm doing this is to make my lip art look amazing. Even if I want to do a natural lip, you won't see any discoloration coming from the sides of my lip. I have a blemish here. I want to cover that, so I just stipple on top of that to keep it in a control area, as you just seen me do. And I have a blemish here that I like to keep in a control area and here as well. So We just do that. I brighten up the inners of my eyes with this just by doing a simple swiping motion with a little bit of product, because this is a very, 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 very good product and it's very brightening. So it's a very, very corrective way to do the eye makeup. And you can use this as a primer for your shadows. It's also been a godsend for that. So thank you, Bodyography. I really do love this type of balm texture, especially in the concealer too. And the concealer is amazing too. It's like a gel texture, gel cream texture. Reminds me of the Chantecaille foundation, the Future Skin. One of my favorite foundations that I have ever tried. Amazing product, but that's not what we're talking about. Next thing I'm going to do is my larger areas where I was telling you guys that I wanted you to focus at, right? So I'm going to dip into this lovely color corrector, and then we're going to take it here. We're going to take it here, and this is just going to brighten up any large pores that might have like a deeper hole there, or deeper divot, should I say. I'll get here, and you don't need a lot of this product, so don't go ham, because you don't want to build up on top of your texture that you're trying to hide. You know what I mean? Just a small layer of this, a thin layer will suffice. So as you can see, it's very, 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 very good at camouflaging my dark spots, and we're going to just take it all the way up to the high point of the face. And I'm just going to next bring it down to cover some of my larger pores now, like these right here. I want to blur those out, so I like to buff in those because they're sometimes deeper. And this also acts as a kind of filler as well. That's why I like it so much. It acts as a filler, so it fills those pores up, those bigger pores, and it makes it look like I don't have any large pores there. So you just stipple it in there if you want that effect. If you want that same effect, you just stipple in that one spot. Then I'll take the residue and hit my chin area where I can see a little bit of darkness coming through. And with a light hand, you just want to swipe it back and forth. And it's like butter. It blends right into the skin. It doesn't stick up. It doesn't create texture unless you build upon it too much. And I found that out the hard way in the beginning when I was like loving this product. One day I was just like putting too much under my eyes, and I went and I'm like, oh, this is so creasy. So yeah, just a light thin layer under the eye. That's all you need with this one. And you see how it just brightens up the eye really, really good. Really, really good. Cover my dark mark, but my scar will always be there, but it covers it really good. So as you can see, everything is blurred out. Everything is good. I do have a big problem with my pores, but I will show you the next step. The next step I usually do is take a powder puff, and I go into a pressed powder. Now with this pressed powder, it's skin tone, okay? So it will help the color, orange color, to subside a little bit. So all I do is come and I start to use my pressed powder in my skin tone until I get like an even coat, like something like that. Not too heavy. And then you just want to press that right on top of the color corrector. Vanish. The pores and everything should vanish. Everything should vanish if you did it right. And just pat there until it's flat as you would like it. Pores and everything should vanish. And you might have to go in once or twice, but this is the way you're going to correct the orange color without being so fusty, and the rose water is going to suck up that powder. So that's why we use a lot of rose water, and I love that. So next thing I'm going to do is my concealer. The next way I do my concealer is I like to lay this down before I blend it out, because it is a rich consistency, you see? And I have been trying to hold out on this because I don't like using all of this at once, but it's a good product, so I must use it. So I just go with a tad bit here. Really, I focus it where my problem areas are, and then I blend it out from there. you know, just like that. And just I put like a healthy amount over that problem area. So by the time I blend it out, nothing comes off of that. You know what I mean? And then I just figure out where I want the rest of it. Before blend it out, you don't want to waste anything. Just good, I'm telling you. And then I put the rest over top of my lip. Lately, I've been skipping my forehead because my forehead looks perfect. Like, what is it more that I could do to my forehead to make it look perfect? I don't know. So now that we have this laid out on the face in a beautiful manner, I'm going to then go in with my foundation brush and I'm going to start to then buff out. And I like this foundation brush because it's really denser and more controlled, and that's what I need. With my face size, I usually use a brush that is fluffy to do my bronzer or my skin tint. But a foundation, I like a tight ship. So I tend to do a denser brush when it comes to a foundation so I can still keep the coverage and have that amazing airbrush finish. So as you can see, she's going on like butter. Nonetheless, all the skin prep in the world and she's going on like butter. So you're gonna just blend it, finish blending it out, and you want to bring it down the chin to your mid neck. Not all the way down, but to your mid neck. You don't want to mess up your collar shirts and stuff. So mid neck, where we can really see the natural color of your face and neck collide together, and that should work out. But when I'm doing my eyes, I do use a smaller brush just because this is my favorite concealer and I want to have the benefits of it. So as you can see, that covered everything on my side of my face where all my blemishes were. It even covered up my pores, which is always an A plus for me. And I love a cream consistency in a foundation or concealer because it helps with texture as well. And it's more moisturizing sometimes than not. It's more moisturizing. It can be a little heavy, but you have to learn how to blend it and blend it and blend it out. So I come here with that and I just blend it up towards my sacred. Towards my sacred. And wow, that looks really, really, really phenomenal. So I'm going to switch into a smaller brush. The brush I was doing my color correcting with. I use this one for my concealer, and I just go in and stipple. Remember, ladies, look down. And I bring that up to where my lid is and under my brow, because I like that to be one color, and it also works as a helping grip for my shadows if I'm using shadows that day. Then I take my pad, my powder pad, and I come under my eye like this, right? You want to make sure you get this as flat as possible, right? Then I'm going to finish the same eye. This brush is like one of my favorite brushes to use around my eye area. It's so soft. It's by Kiss Professionals, so you know it's a good brush. So yeah, I just take it here and just blend down there. Stat. Do a little buffing here though, and on this side, just in case we get any extra product before I start to pat out with my powder puff. beautiful. I really like that. Look how smooth. We didn't even add the powder yet. So everything's looking flawless, girls. Next thing we're going to do is grab our setting powder. The setting powder I'm going to be using today is the one I have from Bodyography as well. And this is the one in beige. This is their powder I like to use under my eyes and in my smile lines here so it can brighten it up. And it works tremendously. This is my powder brush that I love to use. So I like to take this little side and dust some powder onto that brush and sweep it just enough to set my eye. This is the best way for me to get like a light coverage of powder. Take the powder up the top to the lid, set the lids as well. And I'll just flip it over to the thicker side to just make sure everything is pressed in and melted into the skin. And now I'll take the thick side and I'll just go into the powder. And I'll flip to the feathery side and just buff the powder away now. And I'll take the residue and do the rest of my chin. No blemishes peeking through or anything, nothing. I thought he was knocking on my door, but he wasn't. I'm like, what? But it's okay. I think my mom has my nephew emptying the trash cans in the bathrooms and stuff. Okay, can we bring back good parenting? Bam. So I just had to shimmy. I like this to be really flat. But we shimmied it, we demmied it. Jimmy looks like he's been shimmied really good. So you see how like my face looks so flawless? This is the reason why I stress prepping the face and everything before anything else, right? So just make sure you're still blending out just to have everything seamless and flat. Sorry about that. Somebody's having fun today on this nice hot day. So you see how blurring that is and how flat my face is. I love this look. If you have any more comments or any more concerns about your base, girl, and your blemishes, let me know. But that's what we're focusing at. And I'm about to see a close-up with you guys so we can see. Okay. Okay. Yeah. That's that. So we did it, girls. I'm glad you can be here with me. I hope next time you come with something more challenging so I can show you guys how to really get into your makeup bag. But this is how I usually cover up my larger pores, because sometimes the healing process of a larger pore takes a couple of years. You know what I mean? So that shrinkage might come, it may not come, but that does not mean you give up on your acne fighting journey. You give yourself time to tweak any type of beauty look. You can do it if I can do it. We're gonna line the lips because I'm wearing this to the gym. Line the lips. Today I'm gonna do a 30-30 at the gym, and then tomorrow I'll be going to Planet Fitness with my older brother. So I'm just like, and then he's taking me driving tomorrow because he's getting off in time to take me. So don't ever dim your chocolate shine because you think you can't wear this, or you think your brown skin, your poor brown skin that goes through hormonal experiences just doesn't look as pretty. We judge ourselves 10 times harder than the next person, okay? So give yourself some grace and ease up on your face. I love this look. I love the fact that I'm alive and the fact that I can still do my own makeup. We're about that gratitude. We have to go back to the basics and maybe rewrite some of the rules. This is how I cover my larger pores and my blemishes. If you want more videos like this, hit me up. I've been in the gym. What can I say? Au revoir. I want to be made over. I know I'm not the only one.